Rolls-Royce fights the habit of 120 years and launches its first electric car. The Royce Spectre is the super luxury car company's first electric vehicle. But if you think electric cars are a modern phenomenon, remember that when company founders Charles Rolls and Henry Royce met, electric cars were very much in vogue. In 1899, the world's fastest car was electric. Central London was abuzz with electric carriages, and in 1900 a third of all cars in the US were electric. One of the first briefs for Rolls-Royce cars was, in fact, to produce a combustion engine vehicle that would be as quiet, smooth, and easy to use as an electric one, without the charging and range limitations that kept EVs for town carriage use. Over the following century, Rolls-Royce virtually perfected the art, with its very latest V12s from today's Phantom and Ghost being some of the world's quietest, smoothest, and most compelling luxury power plants. But with the world once more ready for EVs, in 2023 Rolls-Royce launched the Spectre, a super luxury coupe, and its first EV, which had followed in 2025 with the Black Badge Edition for more subversive customers who want a bit of additional edge. Not only is it electric, but the Black Badge Edition is also the most powerful car Rolls-Royce has ever made. At the time of writing, we fully road-tested a regular Spectre in the UK, including a set of performance and economy figures, weights and measurements, and more briefly driven a Black Badge Edition overseas. Rolls-Royce would tell you that deals with uniquely commissioned models rather than having a range, but there are two Spectre models, the regular car, not that it would refer to it in such prosaic terms, and the Black Badge Edition. It's interesting to see where the car slots into Rolls' wider lineup. Filling the space left by the Phantom Coupe, it is priced above both the Ghost Saloon and Rolls-Royce Cullinan SUV, although both the Ghost and Phantom are offered as EWB, with power to trump its range mates. Design and styling. Rolls-Royce's diversion into EVs dates back to the 2011 102X, a 7th-gen Phantom limo with battery power, created to gauge public reaction. Work began on the mechanical basis for its current range of models, the innovative aluminium space frame architecture of luxury, in 2014, with electric as well as combustion power in mind. Even so, the Spectre's chassis is quite different from a Rolls-Royce Phantoms, Ghosts, or Cullinans. In addition to the double-skin bulkheads those models have, the Spectre gets a double-layer floor to aid refinement and boost rigidity by 30%, and within which the 120 kWh nickel-manganese cobalt drive battery is carried. Rolls-Royce makes 100 kWh of that capacity usable. It's a conservative proportion, but chosen with a view to battery longevity over the extraordinarily long lifespans that Rolls-Royce cars so often have. The Spectre uses the same 5th-generation prismatic battery cells found more widely in BMW's electric models. BMW is Rolls-Royce's parent company, for similar reasons of established quality and longevity. Its electrical architecture is for 100 volts rather than the 800 volts deployed by other manufacturers, and that does limit DC rapid charging speed somewhat. Rolls decided the extra complexity and weight of the higher voltage system wasn't justified for its customers, who typically have a fleet of vehicles and no need to charge on the move. The Spectre has hybrid synchronous drive motors front and rear. Peak system output is 577 bhp and 660 pounds-feet on the standard model, with up to 650 bhp and 793 pounds-feet for the Black Badge Edition. Even so, Rolls customers aren't likely to be looking for the most powerful car their money can buy. At each corner, the car uses an adapted version of the Ghost's planar suspension, with adaptive air springs, adaptive dampers, active anti-roll bars, and four-wheel steering all fitted as standard. Alloy wheels are a towering 22 in or 23 inches diameter, wearing Rolls-Royce's now customary noise-cancelling run-flat tires. Our UK road test Spectre weighed 2,935 kilograms on the scales, 45 kilograms heavier than claimed, easy to explain with fitted options, and clearly very heavy. Yet only 155 kilograms more than an 8th-generation Phantom we road tested in 2018. Interior. Inside, the Spectre seats you a little higher and less recumbently than in some GT coupes for the sake of convenience. You feel suitably ensconced in the beautifully soft chairs up front. In the two-seat second row, while occupant space isn't limousine-like, there is still ample space for all but the tallest adult passengers. The layout of the controls is appropriately conventional. The dashboard and center console are common with those of the Ghost Saloon rather than the larger Phantom. As such, there's no disappearing infotainment screen here, but you do get traditional-looking digital instrument dials and lots of physical switchgear, into which Rolls-Royce has poured its usual attention to tactile and material detail. In the Black Badge Edition, there are unique instrument designs and colors, including a separate one should you engage Infinity Mode, which brings an additional level of performance. There is a carbon fiber finish too, although this is made to show exquisite pattern alignment rather than as a weight-saving measure. There is nothing inside that doesn't feel expensively wrought, from the headlight controls to the old-fashioned looking blower slider temperature controls. The Spectre may be a new-age Rolls-Royce in terms of how it's powered, then, but from within it's reassuringly familiar and as rich and lavish as anything the firm makes. Rolls' preference for digital technology integrated with restraint will be a greater selling point for some as time goes on, and its gentle touch with the car's ambient lighting features remains singularly special. Incidentally, the Autocar road test has been measuring what we call the door span, the width that is occupied when the front doors are fully open, of its subjects for several years. In itself, it may be quite a niche dimension to record, but it's a useful corollary of not only outright vehicle width, but also ease of access within tighter confines. For meters is a big door span. A Rolls-Royce Ghost has a 4040mm door span. And when we measured the current Bentley Continental GTC convertible's door span for 1180mm, we thought we might not record a larger one for some time. The Spectre, however, turns out to be something of an automotive albatross with a remarkable 4600mm door span. The model's rear-hinged coach doors, by its maker's own claim, the largest anywhere in current global production, would make very effective air brakes. They're constructed entirely of aluminium, but are also effortless doors, i.e. they are power-assisted, so you don't open them in a conventional way. Instead, you tug discreetly on the huge polished steel door handle and then stand back as the car opens them for you. The driver's door closes itself too, once you're seated and you press on the brake pedal. Engines and performance. Both the Spectre and Black Badge editions have 577 bhp on startup, with the regular Spectre remaining on that, and the Black Badge getting the full 650 bhp if you push the steering wheel's Infinity Mode button, which reduces the claimed 0 to 62 miles per hour time from 4.5 sec to 4.1 sec. But defining how quickly, in outright terms, the Spectre might accelerate must have been a question of preference and priority rather than one of sheer possibility. The car could